podcast room.
Hey everybody, welcome to the fourth episode of the Fuwanovel podcast. Today we are going back in the infamous fourth episode because this one was never recorded and then it never finished recording, and I did 7 other episodes and it was oh geez, so we never got a chance to finish it. But now we're going back, and we're going back to our roots. We're going back to open-ended questions. We're not going to do a specific topic this time around, so we just kind of made some questions up. And I have with me here 3 very special guests. And I'm going to introduce them here for you, and then we're going to kind of try to start discussing. So I have Astro with me from the forums. I also have Matt Rocks. He's a more recent guy that has joined the forums. He does
Hi.
he does some video reviews for visual novels.
Don't
and stuff.
watch it.
And then I also have Mr. Meogii, and you remember him from Get to Know Your Podcast Community featurette and things like that. So a little discussion on what's going on with the podcast here on out. I have planned the next 3 episodes, and I've been contacting the people of those projects, for those of you that do follow that section of the thread. And I also just added another episode recently that I'm still looking for volunteers for. So if you are interested in helping out, please do so. It is discussing the idea of modern visual novels compared to past visual novels, and the modernity of them, and just how user interface has changed, how the art style has changed some, and just all the little cool features for programming and stuff on their visual novels. So if you're interested in volunteering for that, please do. Otherwise, let's get jumped in. Let's start right in and jump right in here. So I'm going to have you guys introduce yourselves to everybody in here. Astro, if you want to go ahead and start, just give me your name, where you're from, and why you want to be part of the podcast. Go ahead.
Wait, my real name?
No, you can give your username. It's fine.
I want your real name.
Okay.
Hang on, I gotta write it down on list of people I gotta stalk.
Okay. Well, my real name is Astro for podcast purposes, and I live in Canada, and nice to meet you.
Why do you want to be a part of this podcast?
I don't.
Okay, that's a good start. Matt Rocks. Where are you from? Where are you? Tell me about yourself.
Hey everyone, my name is Matt Rocks. But you can call me Matt. I say that like I'm talking to people, like they're gonna respond to me. Hi mom. And I am from the grandiose state of South Carolina, aka the place that no one freaking visits. And I've been a kind of fan of visual novels for a while now, and I'm a big fan of podcasts. I love podcasting. So when I saw that there was something that combined visual novels and podcasts, I was like, heck yeah, I want to be a part of this. So,
very nice. And our last guest, please.
Hello, I'm Meogii, and I'm from South Africa, and I love visual novels.
Nice. Very short and sweet, to the point. I like it. All right, guys, so we'll kind of jump right in here because we got about an hour to record here. So we got here 4 questions, 4 main themes of questions. Each one has sub-questions to them, but we'll start right by jumping right in. So the first question here we're going to open up to all of you is that there are many different types of heroines in visual novels. How do you choose your favorite heroine's route, or how do you choose a heroine in the game? Do you choose based on looks, or do you choose based on personality, or is it kind of a little combination of both? That being said, I can even expand on that. Do you feel that the common route is a good enough place to really define a character, or do you feel that you need to actually get into their route to enjoy actually learning about them more and their personality? Is there a specific type of character you enjoy more than others? Why or why not? And so we'll start with that. So Astro, I'll open up the question to you, so we'll start with the basic one. How do you choose your favorite heroine in a game? Character archetypes, personality, looks. Just give me some details about it.
Personality. Personality.
Okay, what kind of personality do you enjoy?
No, I'm kidding. Looks.
Okay. What are your okay? All right. What are your favorite types of looks?
Lollies.
You are a lolly fan. Okay. It's very rare to find this.
Lollies for the win!
Well, I gotta step out of this podcast. I don't want the FBI watching this. I have my name on it.
What? There has to be something. Gotta go more on that, Astro. What?
No. That's my only requirement.
I see.
Really? That's it. So you play. What if the visual novel contains all lollies? And what? Then what do you do? Who do you pick?
I pick all of them.
You pick all of them. All of them.
But you have to go down. You have to go down an initial route. So which one do you choose?
Well, I usually put all their names in a hat, and then when I finally get to a choice, I pick a name of the hat.
Are you serious about that?
Yeah, I'm actually serious.
That's actually pretty funny. It's pretty cool. All right, so you go based on looks. what, like, are there any specific types, like hair color, anything else in terms of looks, like hairstyle that doesn't work for you?
I don't like short hair.
Okay, so you're a long hair person.
What?
See, that's getting somewhere.
We're no longer friends. Sorry, Astro. Friendship.
Wait, we were friends before? What?
No. You know, we had the chance to be friends, but you just said you don't like short hair, and that's off my friendship.
Yeah,
list.
man,
Sorry.
you're my enemy now. So I
Oh,
get out.
I mean, I don't like short hair on girls. I love short hair on you.
Oh, well, when you put it like that, my heart goes out to you. Here, I'll give you my number. Call me.
All right, what kind of long hairstyles do you like, Astro?
Well,
Twin tails,
it's not a
ponytail.
character, but yeah, most of the time twin tails.
All right, what hair color?
I actually don't have a preference for that.
Do you like dark or light hair?
No preference.
Okay. Okay, so you like twin tails. So if it's a twin tail lolly, you'll instantly jump on that route regardless of what the personality's like.
To an extent.
Okay, what's your extent? What's your limit?
I haven't reached that extent yet.
Okay, haven't reached that extent. Okay. Are there specific characters you absolutely just hate? I guess I'll throw it on the other wrong side. Like you just are like never.
Glasses.
Okay.
Oh, you hate glasses? Come on, man.
Well, they just
Different
don't
opinions.
look good on girls for some reason.
Just crap
No-
all
no
over my
offense.
favorite
No
fetishes,
offense.
okay?
Oh, are you serious? I'm sorry.
Okay, so you're not a glasses guy. Anything else specifically?
I don't like bitchy girls.
Okay. So like
Well, I mean, no one does.
attention-seeking whores or attention girls, I guess.
I guess so.
I mean, like that's what I would consider people that want like the spotlight and are always trying to get attention. I mean, define like what a bitch to you is.
Well, in
Like
the
my
view
mom.
of the NWA, a bitch is a bitch.
Jeez. Okay, all right, fair enough. All right, is there? I guess we'll go on to this next question here. Like regarding artwork, considering all this is 2D, how important when you're playing a visual novel are the looks of a game compared to like just other things? Like how important do those looks mean to you? Like when you play a game, you're like, is it the first thing you go for, or is it like the backgrounds? What do you like when you're choosing a character? Like, is it just instantly looks no matter what?
Well, I'll be honest. Like, when I first played Clannad, it was like I just couldn't get through it because the eyes were just like staring back at me, and it was
Okay.
terrible.
So, which this, by the way, we'll go into our next question, so you can say that. But okay, no, that's kind of just that's a good enough answer. All right, what about you, Madrox? You seem to not like any of Astro's opinions here on this.
In
so
my
go into this.
personal opinion, Astro is all wrong about everything. No, I'm just kidding. Astro is cool. So the
Did you just call me ass?
yeah, Astro. Yeah, I'm just kidding, man. You're great. So this is about what type of girls, right? You know, or do you play? You know, what type of heroine you go after, right? Is that it? Just
Yeah,
double
I
checking.
mean, no, just
okay.
like
So when it comes to visual novels, I'm gonna be 100% honest. I don't know what this kind of person this makes me out to be, but I choose based entirely off of how annoying they are. If they're really annoying, God no. If they're really decent, yes. If I want to look at their art, I'm not gonna play through the doggone game to do that. I'm gonna go on the internet and Google all the sex scenes, so I don't have to play through the doggone game to get the art. I play through my visual novels solely for their story and character.
okay, so they're
yeah.
you're more the personality
That kind
type
of-
leading guy.
That kind of contradicts your previous statement.
What? What previous statement?
Going on the internet and searching for all the sex scenes.
What do you mean?
Because you said you play for the story.
Oh, you're
Yeah,
funny.
man.
Ha ha ha.
I see what you did
That
there.
was messy.
All right, well, no, I'm okay.
No,
So
but
you,
seriously, I mean, I'm gonna bring up Katawa Shoujo. I went with the girl that had the, in my opinion, and opinions are subjective. Went with the girl that had the best personality because, you know, I'm gonna be stuck playing through this doggone game with this girl. I'd like a girl that doesn't drive me crazy. If I want to see the girls naked, there's Google.
which
And-
character was that, by the way?
That was the Hanako and what's that other girl? Blonde Lily. I went through their straight
I
paths.
would have expected you to say those two.
No, the blonde girl, Lily.
Yeah, Lily. And
Didn't you go for
Shizune really got on my nerves, so I started her and I quit. And Rin really got on my nerves, and I didn't even really bother with Emmy. She didn't I don't know. She didn't pop out to me as an interesting character, so I didn't really even bother with her. To be honest.
Fair enough.
That's just me.
So you say you're more personality type. So I guess we should ask this too. Like, what in looks do you look for? I mean, let's ask this because everyone has their personal preference. So you're definitely more on the personality. You like the story elements of it. So, what kind of specific looks do you look for in a character?
That's
body wise,
hard.
hair color,
I don't
specific
know.
thing that just
I tend
gets
to,
you.
I don't know. I tend to like girls with glasses. Stop! Don't make fun of me.
Okay, glasses. What
I
kind
tend
of
to like
glasses?
girls with glasses.
What kind of glasses?
Hmm?
What kind of glasses? This is a real
Just
important
glasses.
question.
Glasses. It
Okay,
doesn't
because
really
there's
matter.
like really tiny ones that make you look
Yeah.
intelligent, and there's like bigger ones, which
Yeah,
are more
I don't
moe.
know. I just kind of like glasses in general.
Okay,
Uh,
okay.
Oh, I'm going into my fetish now. I feel like I'm talking to the psychiatrist here. He's like, Matt, why do you fap to hentai gains? Well, I like girls with glasses, psychiatrist. And,
All right. Any specific hair color, hairstyle?
I like. I'm gonna feel like it feels like this is almost just to contradict Astro, but it's not. I like girls with short hair. Like, I'm sorry, I do.
Oh, by the way, I wear glasses.
I wear glasses as well.
Me too.
Um,
Look, let's all just have a fun party. Okay.
Oh wow, I smell an orgy coming. And I don't know. I like girls with short hair, generally dark hair, but I don't. When it comes to that kind of stuff, I don't really have much of a preference.
Fair enough.
I'm not really sure exactly what I find attractive. I'm going to be honest. I feel like this is really deep now. I'm looking really deep into myself, going, what do I find attractive? And I'm not entirely sure.
Well, I mean, when you're thrown into a game, let's say you're not even playing the game, and I'll open this
Right.
question up to everybody again. When you're thrown into a game, you look at the synopsis, you see all those characters on the front cover, or you see the characters being introduced in the opening, and you're like, wow! Like, what's the first thing you're going to do is you're going to, without even knowing who the character is or knowing who they are, you're going to look at them and go, yep, like that's what I do every time. I say, this one looks interesting. I'll see what she's like. And that's how I do it. But like at first initial glance, when I look at those characters, you're going to identify with one. You're going to say, who's this? And then you want to kind of get to know who that character is. That's with any visual novel. So my question really here with this main question was kind of like, what is that character for you? What are the types that you instantly just go, yeah, I'm going to look into that. So like if you, in your case, like if you looked at an opening and there was one girl with glasses, you might go, yep, I'm going to see what that girl's like. And then you might decide that her story might be interesting. Maybe it's a piece of shit. Maybe, you don't know, but it could be something that you're interested in. So that's kind of where I'm going with this on this one.
That's interesting. Yeah, I'd probably say
She must
girls
look like an
with
asshole.
glasses. Yeah.
Okay.
Are you saying, Meogii?
Like she must like have long hair, and then she must just look like she wants to hug me. That's all.
Okay. I guess, yeah, we'll open it to you then, Meogii, because you haven't shared your opinions. Like, what is your preference in terms of how do you choose your favorite heroines? Personality, looks,
Similar
what
to
kind of looks?
yours. I look at the cover, and then I just, by process of elimination, I just choose a girl that just looks attractive and interesting.
I mean, because like 2D is really hard because 2D you can make look perfect on so many levels and it can be attractive in every single way. I mean, you could barely change a character. You could literally just change their hair, their color, and then you have a different character completely in terms of how visual novels go. I mean,
Well,
like,
you
I'm not
certainly
trying to...
don't
Yeah,
have to change their
yeah,
face.
It's
Shots
extremely
fired.
pervasive in that regard.
Yeah,
But
and so that's why it's like when people say like this character is attractive, it's kind of like, well, how, like they're not really changing that much about it. So what are the things you instantly get keyed on? Like you go with, and you're like, yeah, that character, yeah, that character.
the small things that stimulate
Small
the
tits.
color.
No, character has to have breasts. God, flat chest people are so weird. I'm sorry, I'm gonna say it.
I don't mind smaller breasts, but I don't like completely flat.
I don't, but I don't like flat because if you're flat, you have to at least be identifiable as a girl. Because if you're not, then I'm confused, and then I don't make sense.
That's why they have a vagina.
Well, you don't always see vaginas every day, all right? And I don't
Yeah.
know who you are walking around seeing vaginas every day, so, Like,
I mean, they
Astro,
don't
I'm going to ask you
always
this
have
question.
to
You
have
don't
a
need to answer this.
vagina,
You don't need to answer this
right?
question. Okay, that was weird. You don't need to answer this question right away. But, or, like, if you don't want to answer it. But, like, how many actual real women's vaginas have you seen in your life? Your entire lifetime?
Other than my mom?
One,
Besides, like, your family.
Oh,
you're not supposed to see your families, man.
wait. Do I count as my family?
You
Yeah,
have a
does my
vagina.
vagina count?
Yeah.
No, like I'm talking about other people not related to you.
Oh, then one.
Probably like
One. Okay, one.
One.
And how old are you?
I haven't seen any.
18.
18. In 18 years, you've seen one other vagina. Just think about that for a second. You don't see these things every day, okay? So that's my point
Yeah.
here. So, like, just because you say the character has a vagina does not mean they look like a female, okay? There are some females that look like boys. These are what
Wait,
we call...
there are guys that have vaginas?
No. He's saying that thing that they don't
Yeah, they are,
necessarily
right?
look like a girl.
Because flat chests guys don't really have tits, and so if they don't do a good job...
Well, some of them do, but I don't find those ones attractive.
I have tits.
I see. All right,
I
fair
have
enough.
man tits.
All right. Anything else you wanted to share,
attractive.
Meogii, in terms of just character styles or anything?
Just the artwork. It's just a turn on for me. I don't know.
Oh, it's actually a good point. A lot of the times, also for me, depends on the artwork itself. I mean, sometimes everyone can be really poorly drawn, and I don't really like any of
There
them.
was this one game where it was just, God, I couldn't deal with it. I don't know what his name was.
Clannad?
But yeah.
I knew you'd say that.
No, I can't remember the name.
Was it Katawa Shoujo?
No. That was actually for its kind. It was. I'll Google it. I'm going to Google it.
Was it Fading Hearts?
I can't find it.
Well, you tried. That's what counts.
Yep, I tried. My internet's just shitty. But yeah, artwork. Main thing.
Oh my goodness, I'm sorry. I just went into the next question and I realized that my mic was muted that whole time. My apologies.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
No. Yeah, I thought.
Right, man.
No, I'm sorry. Anyways, this is a good segue into the next question. I apologize about that. About artwork, and we can go right into that. So artwork, in at least my opinion, well, in anyone's opinion, I guess, is a core element of a visual novel. Without it, the term visual pretty much wouldn't exist. You'd be reading a book, except it'd have Japanese names and Japanese, culture style things to it. So that being said, how important is the artwork in a visual novel as compared to the story? Do you find yourself being turned off if the art is not to your liking, or do you feel that the story can really drive a game? For example, Clannad could have an amazing story, but its artwork is absolutely atrocious. I know that another person from our forums, like, for example, hated, this is just an example, the anime, like, did not want to watch the Madoka, Mahou Shoujo Madoka, because the artwork was just god-awful to him. But then he watched it and was like, this was a really good anime, and I'm glad I watched it, but I hated the artwork every goddamn minute, but I got past it. So, kind of like that style. I mean, even going on that, like, do you feel yourself, like, being turned off, or do you feel that the story can drive the game, make you enjoy it to its full extent? So I guess I'll open this question up to Meogii. We're going to start with you. What does artwork mean to you, like, just in general? Not even just the characters, just everything about the game, including the backgrounds and everything. What does it mean, and how important is that to you?
I think it's very important. I mean, like, it stimulates you. It's the first thing you see, before the story, so it has to catch your eye. You have to be attracted to it. You have to be you have to like it in order to enjoy the story further.
Okay, are there any specific?
And for example,
go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was reading Ikinari Anata, like that visual novel was the one I was talking about, and not just the artwork, but the music as well. The background music was terrible for me. It was really annoying, and it made me it distracted me. Like I couldn't focus on the story. So it was like, what do I do? I drop it? Do I carry on? Do I drop it?
Okay, this is an interesting question I'm actually going to ask to you. Do you feel, and I'll let you guys each open up to this, do you feel that when we're talking about artwork here, like that it is possible, and you mentioned music, so let's talk about music too. Like, let's say you're given a scene, you have a certain music playing, you have a background CG going. Do you think that in itself should be enough to describe what is happening in the scene, or do you feel that you need the context of the characters and the dialogue as well? Or in this case, the writing?
I think if the music is there and then obviously the visuals are there, you should be able to depict what's happening. It should be obvious.
Okay, I mean, if you took that stuff away, if you took music away, and you took that background away and you just had like a blank screen, like, give, for example, Grisai no Kajisu, which has a lot of, for those of you who have played it, it has a lot of just monologues. And there's no real background images. It's just a text box comes up and it's just monologuing. And sometimes it's from the heroines, with just like a still, like, there's some music playing, but there's just like a black screen with text just appearing on the screen. And you're supposed to picture, you don't have any visual this time. You just had the text and you're reading a story. Do you feel that this is easier for you to connect to in terms of the visual novel? Do you feel like having that element in the background is going to make you, and having the sprites and having the characters is going to make you feel more attached to a scene, or in that kind of sense?
Not more attached, but like it'll makes me feel more tired. In all honesty.
Okay, interesting. Anyone else have any opinions on that, or just artwork in general, or music?
Am I allowed to talk? I don't want to interrupt.
No, you're fine.
I was gonna say, if you're gonna have background music, right, it better be doggone good background music, or else I am muting your game right then and there. Because if there's one thing I cannot stand in visual novels, it's horrible, repetitive, annoying, makes me want to kill myself background music. Negative points saying, if you manage to somehow use a Japanese sound effect of some sort in your song. Actually, negative points if you use a sound effect at all in your looping song, because then I'm definitely going to want to kill you, because that is some obnoxious shit, right? Am I allowed to say shit?
Yeah, no, you're fine to say.
Okay, that is some obnoxious shit right there.
It's interesting.
I hate it.
It's interesting you mentioned that too, because when I play video games, at least in my opinion, sometimes I'll find myself, people want to mute the sound. You'll listen to other music while you're playing, because it's just kind of a repetitive thing where you're just playing, and it doesn't even need to be like a release. It could just be like a simple click, blocks type game. But it's like, I don't want to listen to this background music. I want to listen to my own music. But I never find myself doing that in visual novels. I always find myself listening to the music, and so it's interesting you say you're not like that.
I am not like that at all. I actually read better if I don't have something buzzing in the background, if you know what I'm saying. I actually read better without that. So a lot of the times, even if the music's good, I might listen to the music by itself, but a lot of times I end up just muting the game so I can read, because I don't know, I have trouble reading whenever there's something else playing in the background.
Let's be honest, guys. The music makes the visual novel. We can't run away from that fact.
I think it makes a visual novel. I think it makes a visual novel for emotional scenes, because when you watch a movie, the thing that makes you cry, I'm going to be completely honest, the thing that makes you cry, if you ever have cried, is music. It has nothing to do. If you take away the music from a sad scene in a movie or a visual novel that you've cried in,
if you insert happy music into a sad scene,
yeah, even something like that, it's going to ruin it. Like music, sad violins, orchestra.
Perfect example, that Titanic.
Yeah, dialogue to me. Go ahead. Sorry.
Astro.
No, I didn't watch the Titanic. That's it.
Let's not get out. Try not to get off topic on that. But the point is, the music makes something, because it's the music that makes you cry. It's not the dialogue. If you take away the music and just have dialogue and somebody saying, "My parents died," I might be like, "Oh, that sucks," but I'm not going to start crying unless you have some kind of music in there.
I disagree when it comes to visual novels with that, and the reason is because, to me it depends a lot on the writing itself and not a lot on the background music. As I said, a lot of the times background music gets on my nerves. I mute the whole doggone game, or I don't even wear headphones and I just read it. And if it's a well-written sad scene, then I don't need sad music to tell me it's sad.
Very interesting.
I just don't. I generally mute a lot of the games I play.
But it enhances it. Yeah.
It doesn't feel like it enhances it to me a lot of the times. It just kind of distracts me from what I'm reading, because I'm hearing this music that's going, "Oh, you need to be sad," as opposed to reading the story and feeling like, "Oh, I need to be sad."
Meogii, what were you saying?
Music is music, it breaks the dam. You can't cry if you just have words there and a scene there. You need music. I remember when I was watching Clan Nat, and there was this scene where this girl was emotional and stuff, and then the music just came and I just just started crying.
I think for movies definitely, but for visual novels, they're like books to me, and I don't know. I don't feel like if they're well written, they even need music.
But the thing about visual novels is that when you're reading it, you kind of like picturing the scene. So when the music comes, it adds to it, you know. So for me, it makes me cry.
I'm curious.
I'm just gonna say that's not me.
I'm curious then,
Doesn't
Matt,
happen to
because
me.
I want to expand on yours a little more. Have you first of all, have you ever gotten emotional reading text? Like, let's ask that first before I go jumping onto it.
Yeah,
Gotten
like-
Who, me or him?
Yeah, you, Matt, you.
Have I gotten emotional reading text? I have read sad books, yes, and I.
Okay, because some people
haven't-
just don't cry. Like me, I'm not really a big crying person. Like, I don't really break
I'm
down.
not
But some
really. No, but I've read a few really sad books. I didn't really feel like crying at them, no, but I felt appropriate to what I was.
And there was a
reading.
book I read, Bridge to Terabithia, which was a book we read back in high school, or middle school or whatever, and that ends pretty sad. I mean, that was a pretty sad book. I don't know if you read it or not, but I mean,
Yeah,
that's a
read
good
it.
example. Okay, yeah, that's a good example. Like, no, I get what you're saying. So, but that's really interesting. I haven't really met a lot of people that say that music detracts them from a game, so that's a good point. Astro, do you have any really opinion? I haven't really gotten to you yet, or because you haven't really said too much.
Oh, were you talking to me?
Yeah, I mean, just like, again, the artwork and the music and the core elements of the visual novel. We kind of turned this question more into music than artwork, but that's absolutely fine. I mean, do you find yourself, that artwork can turn you off on a game? And I'm not just talking about characters at this point. I'm talking about everything in general.
Oh, well, I guess backgrounds are less important than character designs because, well, they're nice to look at if they're well done, but
I think
if they're like mediocre, then I don't really judge the game for it.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, just other elements too, like your opinion on the music too, because you're kind of restating some, but like you're a music guy. I like the music.
Well, for music, for me it plays a big part in whatever I'm like watching or playing. To be honest, I didn't finish Clannad, but every time I hear that sad song, I just get goosebumps for some reason.
There's some music that I listen to still today, and it gives you those epic, like even epic songs. It doesn't even need to be a sad song.
Yeah.
It gives you those goosebumps. I don't know if Matt, if you feel that,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. I don't want to say like I don't love music. I love music. Music is my passion. It's just in visual novels, it gets annoying to me, the music, and maybe it's just because the games I play don't have very good music except for Katawa Shoujo. But I think it comes more to the fact that I'm not very good at multitasking, I guess. I can't really listen to music and read a book at the same time.
Wait, so
I
you can't
focus
read
on
a
one or the
VN
other,
and FAP at the
so.
same time?
Huh?
Dude, stop.
You can't read a VN and FAP at the same time?
I cannot. No, I look up the pictures separately. I can't read in FAP.
I'm like Matt if I ever did it, but I don't want to go into that topic. It's very hard to.
So yeah, I mean, like if I listen to a really good album or whatever, I get those musical goosebumps. But visual novel music just doesn't really do it for me.
Fair enough. All right. Well, we can move on to the next question then.
Wait, I forgot. I didn't even comment on art at all. I just
Oh
commented
no,
on
you're
music.
fine. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, feel free.
I was gonna say, I always feel like I sound like an art snob when I say this, but I got high art standards, and if you don't meet my high art standards, prepare for me to not be playing you very long, unless you are expertly written. Unless you are the best written game in the entire world, if your art looks like crap, I'm probably not going to be reading you much longer, or I'll be laughing at it the whole time.
That's why I hate H scenes, because they don't know how to do anatomy, and it bugs
Okay,
me.
so-
Crap out of me.
Pretty much, if if the story's good, but all the heroines look like guys, would you still play it?
If the story was really good and all the heroines looked like guys, well, that depends. Can you have a really good story where all the heroines look like guys? Is that even possible? Can you do that? I mean, if all the heroines look like guys, then I'm assuming some sort of really weird fetish thing is going on, and I'm going to assume the story is not very well written. If that's what's going on.
Well, assume it is.
Well, then I guess I would probably play. I don't know. Heroines looking like guys doesn't really affect whether I play a game. It's how well drawn of guys they are that would affect
I see.
whether or not I
Yeah,
play the
same
game.
here. That's what I look for in my yaoi.
Yeah.
Of course, because we all play those games. Because that
I
gives
play Otome games, okay? I've reviewed Otome games. If you know,
Fair
I've
enough.
had to deal with all the pretty looking guys. I never really got it though. They never looked that pretty to me, but they were well drawn enough that I didn't.
They look like they're the Sephiroths of visual novels.
Yeah.
That's exactly what the girls are into, apparently, or what they think they're into.
Yeah, I know.
Very interesting. Okay. Okay, well, we can move on, I guess, to the next question here, too. So in another podcast episode that I've recorded, I had mentioned how popularizing VNs in the West was an issue in some respects. This is kind of a complete turn on where we're going in these questions. I had also mentioned that it is a problem in the country of origin as well. That being said, PC games, or what they call them in Japan, and this term visual novels, are not as well known in the country. How do you feel about this? Do you think that we as visual novel enthusiasts should be concerned about this, or do you feel that it's, I guess, natural? And when I mean concerned, I don't mean like, well, but like, do you feel that before a product should go out to the world, it should be popular in the country of where it's originally shown? So, for example, things like Concol and Love Live are very popular in Japan, and now they've expanded themselves to the world. Visual novels are not very popular in Japan, but a lot of people from this community, and it's becoming more popular. I mean, Steam has started throwing visual novels up on their thing. So it's like, and sure, they're not the greatest visual novels. They're not masterpieces. But do you feel that, because Japan, I've asked like a bunch of my friends, and they don't even know what these are. It's a very small group of people. And so do you feel that this is going to affect a lot of things, or what do you think? Games like Katawa Shoujo, for example, exposed a lot of the Western culture to this type of game. In fact, everybody I've talked to pretty much played Katawa Shoujo as their first one. Probably about 90% of visual novel players in the West have played Katawa Shoujo as their first novel.
That was me.
Do you think that since KS appeals more to the Western audience, do you feel it's going to attract people to Japanese visual novels? Because, I mean, you look at KS and it's, people love it, and there's some people, obviously, that came to this Fuwa website and enjoy other visual novels, but they are completely different style-wise in how they're written, how their comedy plays out and things like that. Like, what do you feel about that? So I guess I'll open this question up to Matt. You can start here.
Alrighty.
I guess we'll start with the basic stuff. So, like, do you feel, Japan, do you feel like Japan needs to get, like, it needs to be popular there before we can start comparing it to the world, or do you feel like, because, like, obviously, American companies are never going to make these games. I don't foresee it ever happening. So, we have to rely on Japan to make these games, and then we respectively fan
Well, I don't think
translate
any
them.
major American companies are ever going to make them.
Yeah, exactly.
The indie scene's going to keep making them forever because they're really easy to make.
Exactly, and obviously, indie scenes don't have the kind of time commitment, the voice acting, the money, and the crap, because they're all already doing it. So they're not gonna be really high quality stuff.
Yeah.
So, anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
I don't know. I guess I'm gonna sound like a terrible person, but I think that it's just let it happen naturally. I mean, if they're not popular over there, then I guess we'll just have to wait till they are popular over there. I don't know. I'm not really like worried as a VN player about it or anything that they're not popular over there. I mean, I've still got plenty of good titles. Maybe that's a lie. Maybe I don't have plenty of good titles. I have some titles that are good enough for me that came from Japan, and I guess that if it gets naturally more popular and it grows over to the world, that's fine. But if it doesn't, that's fine. As for what was the question about whether or not you think it should get popular before it goes to the rest of the world?
Yeah, kind of something like that.
Nah, I don't think it needs to get real popular before it goes to the rest of the world. Unless, of course, you mean like it gets mega popular in the rest of the world, but I don't think it will. I mean, it's already spread over here. We got tons of English translated visual novels, and it's not even popular over there. So I don't think it needs to be really big over there for it to be good over here too. That was really rambly. And I don't know what I'm talking about, obviously. But...
Well, I mean, like, take for example, like Attack on Titan. When I was there, Attack on Titan was not really that popular in Japan. It really isn't. I mean, it is, but it's not. Like, there was like, I saw nothing in Akihabara for Attack on Titan, but it was just getting fanboyed and just the hell out of back in America, and then people were just like, "Oh my gosh, this is the greatest thing ever!"
Oh my god, Sliced Bread? They made the sequel. It was called Attack on Titan.
Yeah, it pretty much was what it was like here, and I mean. I have my opinions about it, Attack on pacing, but, whatever.
I have never watched it, so.
Well, I won't ruin it for you. But, yeah, the point is, like, it wasn't as popular. Like, I didn't notice that much. When I went to Japan back in November, like, Concol was being featured over there, but it's sure as hell what it isn't what it is today. And making anime out of it, like I was just like, oh, there's buttons and pins and little, what are these characters? And then I learned about it. I'm like, oh, it's a fleet-based game. And I came back, and then all of a sudden, hey guys, have you seen Conquer? And I'm like, oh my god, I apparently like jumped on a hype train when I should have. And then I realized like how big it became. It's basically a Toho, and that's how popular it became. And so
I don't know. I feel like they're kind of a niche audience, niche in general. But I don't think that's necessarily bad. I don't think it's bad that they're kind of niche and not all that popular. I think that they get over here, and as long as they get over here, I guess that's fine with me. The rest of the world doesn't seem to have a problem reading them if they want. People in Europe seem to be able to read visual novels. Someone in South Africa can read a visual novel. So
I guess here's my more important question then. Do you want them to become popular, or would you rather them keep where it is?
I'd rather keep where it is.
I mean, do you feel you like lose your originality as a person? Like, I don't want to say like I want to be the hipster and I enjoyed these before they became popular, or something like that. But
I don't know. I feel like if they became really popular, then we'd have oversaturation, and then that would lead to just a whole lot of more crap than we already have. Because let's be honest, we have a lot of crap.
Yeah, and I'm even talking more just about like Western, because like obviously Steam has been releasing these things, and now everyone's going to be like, hey, have you heard about this new visual novel? And then you're going to be that guy that was like, I was into that stuff before you all jumped on the bandwagon.
I probably wouldn't be that guy. By the time they get really popular, I'll probably be dead.
All right, fair enough. You think it would take that long? I mean, this.
I don't know. I don't think they'd ever really get really big, though. I mean, I don't even think that would be an issue, because let's be honest, it involves reading. What's the one thing that everyone hates doing? Most people, they hate reading. Most people I talk to, anyway.
I mean, like with Grisaya, for example, if it's really going to come out on Steam, that's pretty much the class of what people would expect out of a visual novel and what it really is. Obviously, they removed 8 chains, but
Yeah.
I mean, if it does get released, do you feel that it's going to push a ridiculous?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't really feel like it's going to be a ridiculous popular thing or not. No, I just, I'm probably going to be wrong too. But I just don't feel like that's ever gonna happen.
Okay, interesting. I guess because the first thing and foremost that I usually tell most people, and you can agree or disagree with this, is that in order to like visual novels, you have to like anime. You have to like Japan animation, and if you don't, you're never going to get into the game, because what is a visual novel? Japanese animation. So what it's based off of. So I mean, if you can't get into the big-eyed characters, you're never going to be able to get into the story itself, probably. So.
Huh. I'd almost agree with that. Yeah, I don't really recommend visual novels to people a lot, because then they're like, "What's a visual novel?" And I go, "Oh, it's this like book thing from Japan." They go, "Japan? Why do we talk to you, Matt?" And so then.
Well, I know a lot of my friends as well. Like, I have some tattoos and other things, and they're like, "Oh, is that from anime?" And I'm like, "Nope, it's actually a visual novel." But trying to explain that to you would be impossible. So we'll just call it anime.
Tattoos of visual novels? It's fucking boss, man.
Dude,
oh shit! I said the F word. Damn it! I was trying to be PG-13.
You're fine. Don't worry. Anyways, Astro, what do you think? We've obviously gone on everything right there. So, tell me what you think.
What was the question?
I guess why don't we start with like a easy question? Is like, how do you want visual novels to become popular, or do you feel that they should stay where they are?
Yes, to the first one.
So you want them to actually become extremely popular and have a lot of people know about them.
Well, it's nice to, like, right now I don't have many friends, like, in real life who are into visual novels, let alone anime.
Well, I mean, anime is different, though, because anime is extremely popular. People know about anime, but there's not that many people that you know in real life that might like it. Visual novels, like, people don't even know what the heck they are, but if they did, I feel it'd still be the same as probably anime.
Well,
You'd still have to find.
I feel like people would judge you if they knew you played visual novels. Like if they knew you personally and they found out you played visual novels, I feel like they would judge you.
Well, every single one of my friends knows I play visual novels, and I tell them.
Your friends are weird.
Well, I tell them to go screw themselves, and I'm better than them. No, I really don't do that, but I mean.
My friends only know me as that guy that makes fun of stuff on the internet, so.
All right, so you guys are closet visual novel players. Okay, fair enough.
I'm sorry.
It's fine,
I'm ashamed of my hobbies.
Ashamed of your hobbies. It's not.
I mean, if you spent every night fapping to visual novels, you'd probably be ashamed of your hobby too. I'm just kidding.
I think I think the fact that you put the fact that you fap to them, that's a more private thing. I hope people don't share their fapping preferences entirely.
Congratulations, you just shared it on the podcast worldwide.
Yep.
That's okay. I mean, everyone who knows me probably already knew that. I mean, they wouldn't hang out with me otherwise.
Fair enough. Any other things like, okay, so you would want them to become popular. Do you feel that the way things are going right now is the right way to be doing it? Do you think that Steam is the way to make it popular?
No.
Every single VM that has been featured, that has been on Steam, has been featured on the front page. Every single one that I've seen on there. Planetarian was featured. Soccer Spear was featured. What
Fucking
else?
Soccer Spear.
Go Nippon was featured, and
Go Nippon.
you had all these people like the Game Grumps and people on YouTube that are popular play these games. Like PewDiePie, I'm pretty sure even played a visual novel, and he's the most popular YouTube user and has the most subs. And so do you think that? But then again, you're right. The games still haven't jumped on this huge bandwagon of popularity.
Well, it's good publicity, I guess, in terms of Steam, but then, I don't know, I feel like they don't really do the original games justice.
That's because of a lot of the American style, removing a lot of the dialogue. I mean, you take example Hard Head Wings with Manga Gamer or whatever they did, and they just completely destroyed the entire game because they were like, oh, you mentioned boobs? Well, we can't mention boobs for some odd and unbeknownst reason in society these days.
Dude, I said boobs once, and I got a brick thrown at me. You just can't say it out loud. Oh shoot! Whoa, that brick almost hit me. Damn.
Yeah. Okay. I guess just what other, you said PC games. What else did I have in these questions? Do you think that we should, do you feel like Katawa Shoujo? I guess I'll just ask the question about Katawa Shoujo because you played it, I'm sure. Do you feel that you haven't?
No.
Interesting. Okay. So what started you on your visual novel experience? Now I'm quite curious about that.
The game by Third Eye, Bloody Rondo.
Okay. What's the game name?
Bloody Rondo.
Oh, is there lollies in it?
Nope.
Oh, interesting.
Surprisingly.
Interesting.
I used to be a normal visual novel player just like you guys.
Oh, so you changed.
Wait, I'm normal?
Yeah, I used to be normal like Ren.
I see. All right. Anything else? I can't even think of because kind of you answered pretty much everything. I mean, is Meogii? Are you here still? Yeah, because he said he was going to be right back, and I think he just disappeared on us. And so, I guess
out hunting for his dinner.
Yeah, looks like Meogii had some things to take care of, so I'm not really sure when he'll be back. So I guess we'll just move on to the next question. Then, sorry about that, guys. He probably has some emergency he needs to take care of. But so let's move on to the last one. There are, in my opinion, two different styles of comedy when discussing visual novels. This goes to the comedy scene. Obviously, most games try to include some comedy in them, even if they're extremely dark and extremely, serious. They always try to throw some comedic scenes in there. Do you feel that these types of do you like the more Western style of comedy? So I guess I'll use American style in this case, or do you think that Japanese style comedy is better? What are some jokes you like? What are some jokes or comedy styles you prefer? What do you like about each one? If you do like them, do you just hate comedy in general, or get the hell out of? I don't want to ever talk about comedy ever.
What do we say? He hates comedy.
Yeah. Or do you feel do you feel jokes get old? Things like that. And I guess I'll start with you, Astro. What do you feel about it?
Well, before I answer that question, I would like to point something else out before I lose followers on Twitter. When I say I like lollies, I don't mean little girls. I just mean girls who look lolly.
Okay.
Okay. And before I lose
just putting
Twitter
that out there.
followers, I just like to say that no, I don't fap to visual novels every night. That was a joke. Mom, please,
Every other
please, for the
night.
love of God, don't kick me out of the house. I need this house I'm living in.
I see. I'm glad you guys are embarrassed. Okay, fair enough. You just
Yes.
like less underdeveloped females. Or you like underdeveloped females.
Less underdeveloped?
I said that incorrectly. I'm sorry. You just like underdeveloped females who are still of appropriate age.
Well, I guess so. I don't know. I just don't find The
You
charm
like
in
babyface
older women.
girls? You like babyface girls? Okay, then that's probably the best way to put it. Like they look like they're extremely young, but
Like I like cute girls instead of like how other people.
well,
like,
as a
hot
girl
girls.
could still be cute and be older. I'm just gonna throw that out there,
What?
Mr.
Yeah,
Glass.
man.
No, that's impossible.
I see. Okay, but anyways, comedy. So what are your opinions about the comedy on Astro?
Back to the question.
Yeah, comedy stuff.
I guess I prefer Japanese humor.
Okay.
But then again, I admit that the Japanese language has a lot of weird puns. And
Okay.
most of them aren't even funny.
Fair enough. What is something? I guess I'll ask this because this is a good starting question. What is something you have you ever laughed, like genuinely just like found something hilarious and actually laughed at it while reading a visual novel?
Yeah, many times.
Okay. Can you give me an example of one from a game you played?
Well, I can't think of anything from the top of my head, but they're mostly like Tsukomi and Boke scenes where you're laughing at someone else's expense.
Okay, so like people doing stupid things or failing at stupid things.
Pretty much.
Okay, very interesting. I mean, besides just like so you like the Japanese style comedy, but you think the puns are weird. I mean, is there any like specific jokes from Japan that just absolutely annoy you, or just are like, I can't stand this, I'm sick and tired of this joke, and it's always prevalent?
Yeah, like I said, like bad puns, they just don't sit well with me.
Can you give an example of one?
I could open up Clover Days and find one.
You mean the one about eating miso soup?
That wasn't a pun. That was actually a reference, I think.
I didn't understand that. It didn't make any sense to me when we were playing.
They reference a lot of like old anime series, so you probably wouldn't know unless you watch them all.
They like to do that. Japan likes to throw a lot of reference bombs in the things they make.
Well,
I've
I'll
noticed
tell
that.
you, if there's one thing I don't watch, it's anime. So I probably wouldn't get them.
Fair enough.
Are you really? You don't watch
I'm
anime?
Oh,
That's another topic, but not really. Not a whole lot.
right.
I was just joking. Maybe I'll shut up. I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. That's fine. What about you, Mats? What do you feel?
Oh god, I'm gonna be the stupid dumb American, but god damn it, fucking shit. You better be fucking funny. God, I'm swearing again. Jesus. I like American humor. Okay, there's only one Japanese comedy or two Japanese comedies I've ever really laughed at, and neither one of them were visual novels. It was Cromartie High, and it was Ozymandias, the manga, not the TV show. Didn't like the TV show very much. And those are about the only two Japanese things I've ever thought were funny. Everything else I read that's a Japanese comedy, I look at the screen and I go, I don't get it. And then I look at the next joke and I go, I don't get it. And then I play the visual novel and there's the joke and I go, I don't get it.
Freaking Americans.
I know, but in my defense, I'm an American. I've never been to Japan. I don't know any Japanese people. I don't know Japanese. They make a pun, I don't get it because I don't speak Japanese. I'm of a different culture, I guess, and I guess I find the stuff of my culture very funny, and I don't really get the stuff of their culture. I mean,
Well,
I don't really know
yeah.
if Ozymandias was like a strict Japanese comedy, or if maybe I just find it funny because it's more American or whatever. But I mean, that kind of stuff, like Ozymandias, I find funny. Cromartie High, I find funny. But like every other Japanese comedy I watch, I don't really laugh at. Sorry.
Well, yeah, like before I started to watch anime, I had a very Western sense of humor, but after like a few hundred series,
It's just a few hundred.
just a few hundred.
Maybe again it goes back to the fact that I don't really watch anime a whole lot. I don't. Maybe that's a part of it too. I haven't watched a few hundred series.
So
I've
what
watched
got
maybe
you-
like 10?
I'm curious then, what got you into visual novels in the first place?
The lollies.
The
Or
lollies.
was that towards me?
I don't know as to any of you.
Well, my friend played Katawa Shoujo, and he was like, Matt, play Katawa Shoujo. And I was like,
Me
okay, I'll
too.
play Katawa Shoujo, and I did, and I
Wow, you
liked
guys
it.
are all the same.
And then,
Yeah.
I wanted to do reviews, and I just ended up reviewing something I guess vaguely visual novel-ish, and then all my friends were like, hey, you should review all these other games on Steam that are visual novels. and then it just spiraled out of control for there, and I just started playing a bunch of visual novels. I don't know, that was it.
All right, I guess I'll ask one more question here because it looks like we got Meogii back. Welcome back, by the way. We were worried that something happened.
Pray.
No, you're absolutely fine. We'll jump back a question for you so you can get your opinion on it. Just make sure you do. But real quick, just to follow up your last thought there, Matt. Is there a moment, or has there ever been a moment in a visual novel where, like I said, Astro, that you've actually genuinely thought was funny and you have been laughing? I'm not saying you have to laugh out loud, but like you just thought, wow, that's really funny.
Well, unless of course it says really bad art, not yet. Sorry. I'm sorry, I have not laughed at a visual novel yet, unless of course I'm laughing at ridiculously terrible art.
Okay, so you're more in the nitpicky, like, let's look at all the things that are wrong with it.
I'm sorry,
That's right.
I can't turn off my critic view, even when I'm not reviewing something.
Fair enough. All right,
I think...
Actually,
like,
go ahead, sorry.
In Grisaya, the protagonist was really funny. He was a really funny guy. Yeah, that's the only time I've found myself, like, dying over a story.
Okay. I guess what we were discussing, because we'll jump you right in here, Meogii, and then I can jump back a question for you so you can get your opinion on the visual novel stuff, is we're talking about different styles of comedy, like Japanese-style comedy and visual novels compared to, like, more Western, and I'm using American here in this term, like the Western-style comedy. Which do you prefer? Do you feel that there are some jokes that just get you really annoyed during visual novels, or are there specific types of jokes that you just find hilarious? Have you ever laughed, like we said, generally at a visual novel, just like straight out laughed, or just that kind of stuff? Or do you just hate comedy in general?
Personally, as a person, I don't have a high tolerance. I have a very high tolerance for comedy, so I don't get emotional over what type it is. If it's funny to me, it's funny, and if it's old, it just slides off my back or skin, whatever you call it. But if it's funny to me, then I'd laugh at it. But I don't really get emotional about what type it is, where it's from. It doesn't matter. If it's funny, it's funny.
Do you find any jokes just like specifically like I do not like this, or just like this is so annoying?
If I do come across something that I don't agree upon, there's nothing I can do about it. I just have to move on from life. It just slides off my back,
Okay. So you're kind of just like take it as it comes. Oh, sorry.
Is there like a difference between? Is there like a difference between African humor and American humor?
African humor?
Yeah. Is there such thing as African humor?
We have our own type of humor, but it's nothing like the Western or Japanese type of humor. We go on our own roots on that thing, but it's
tell
not
me an
the
African
same.
joke then.
I can't think of one off the top.
I think that's great. I think that's good that all the places have different humor, because that just goes to show how diverse humanity is, and I think that's good.
If you're talking about like South Africa, I can tell you that South Africa is not like just the Africans. It's made up of various type of ethnic groups, so it becomes really difficult for me to come and tell you that this is like African joke. It's because there's many groups in Africa, like there's Chinese, Indian people, you have Afrikaans people, you have all these type of people, and we have different types of humor, so it becomes really difficult to tell you what is humor.
Why don't the chicken cross the road?
All right, well,
Isn't that Western?
Okay. Well, we're coming up here almost to the close. We got about 7 minutes left, so I didn't want to give you a chance, Meogii, to kind of discuss your opinion on the third question that we had previously, because we kind of skipped over you. We were talking about how PC games, visual novels in Japan are not as well known. I guess I'll start with a basic question. Do you want visual novels to become popular in other parts of the world besides Japan? Do you want them to become...
No and yes.
No and yes, okay. Describe your answer.
No, because I want to feel that I'm doing something that not everyone is doing, and it makes me feel special in a way, but, I just want to feel special in a way, and yes, because I feel like if it gained more views or whatever, if people began to realize it more, we'd have more translations, we have more visual novels being created, and it really benefit us. But yeah, it's no and yes, basically.
Okay, because we were discussing, the main thing we brought up was that the fact that, I mean, as we were saying, Japan is kind of the relying source for making these types of games. Yes, there are indie games that are developed, but they don't have the time, the money, the devotion, the people to voice act with professional voice acting careers to sit and do these, because those people that obviously do that voice acting do go into the business of voice acting, and it obviously isn't just something you could just take anybody and they'll be amazing at it. But we rely on Japan to make these types of games, and so if Japan stops making them, pretty much probably the market would die. There wouldn't be anything anymore. I mean, people wouldn't, enjoy these types of games. So the fact that our main point was that the fact that they're not as popular in Japan, do you feel that at some point this might be businesses will go bankrupt or businesses will start running out of money? Or
No, no, not entirely, because I think I read somewhere on the internet that visual novels haven't been popular in Japan for quite a long time, and the business is still going strong. So I think the demand is coming from somewhere, and it's obviously not from Japan, but it's still coming from somewhere, and it's very strong at this point in time. So I don't think there is an immediate threat as of yet. So I think the demand is coming from somewhere, but it's obviously strong, and Japan. We don't need Japan to like visual novels for it to be popular. It's already popular. Like, I've met guys from all over the world that know visual novels and enjoy them. So Japan is not a necessity for me in this point in time.
All right, fair enough. All right, guys, so we got about 5 minutes left, actually more like 4 minutes. Do you guys have any final opinions you would like to share, or have a question that wasn't answered, or have any other thoughts about anything?
Does it have to be about visual novels?
It could be kind of about anything.
That's right. Do you have something against Africans?
No, well, not like that. Nothing to do with that. Astro just likes trolling people, it seems.
Astro is my spirit animal.
I see. But
what does that even mean?
Oh, well, I have a few minutes to do shout-outs. Shout-out to the Sailor Moon dub. That's the best dub, the original one. That's the best dub of any anime ever. I don't think I've ever laughed so hard in my entire life than I did at watching that show. So shout-out to the folks that did that. Thank you. I needed those laughs in my life.
Oh, well, follow me on Twitter, because,
Shout-out to Astro for his help in the Sailor Moon dub.
And,
I was actually Venus.
What were you saying, Meogii?
Request my signatures, like them on Fuwa, and shout out to HMN. Yeah.
I think this
shout
is...
out to HMN. Oh, by the way, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and you can subscribe
this
to
is
my
not
channel.
This is not a place for people to advertise their shit.
I'm just messing. I don't
follow me on Facebook and
all right.
YouTube.
All right, gentlemen. Thank you for coming.
Shout out to the people that sit and dub Sailor Moon. That was a really good dub. I don't know why people are mad at it. It was really funny.
All right. Thank you guys for joining me on the podcast. I will try to upload this tonight. This will get the episode 4 in, so we should have every episode. I'll upload it on my Mixcloud account, and we'll start working on.
Alrighty.
We'll work on the videos on YouTube.
Well, thanks for having me on. That was a lot of fun.
One more question.
Go ahead.
Because we were already on this episode, are we prevented from going on the next one, or what? Is it could we
we just ruined every
Yep,
other
you're never
podcast.
allowed another episode, even though you've already been on
never.
2. Nope, you're never allowed on any other episodes.
Never. This is my one and only chance to do a shout out to the Sailor Moon dub people, so I have to do
You
it.
are more than welcome to register for any. Please, we are always looking for volunteers, and I'm trying to get people to give their own suggestions and actually host the podcast, which was one of the reasons I did the thing I did. So if anyone else wants to feature themselves hosting the podcast, please do. I'm going to advertise that here. Yes, I will advertise that because that is an episode coming up that I'd like to do. And I, for once, actually would like to participate in something instead of always hosting it, because I like to state my opinions as well. But that's that. So thanks, guys, for coming. I appreciate it, for taking your time.
All right, thanks for having me.
Okay, try not to tap to my voice.
You guys have a wonderful evening.